In this video, I will present more details about lactose and lactic acid and fermented milk, how it can be very helpful to improve your health, grow muscles, and live forever young. Okay, so I hope you watch the short version of my presentation with a summary, and then I will go now into details. As always, I recommend you to download presentation from the as PDF file from the link in the description. Then you will go to sources of information, make your own research. Please mind that I am not a medical professional. I am scientist with PhD in physics and mathematics. So it's I do research as I always did. I mean, I make a review of literature, I generate my own ideas, and then I try to check validity and these ideas or in experiments. And in my case, it is like I try to experiment with my body. So it is quite risky, but again, if I see something works for me, then it may not work for you. So be careful and do your own research. This is what I recommend. Okay, let's go. In many of my videos, I present my unique perspective on agents that differs from the mainstream view supported by most researchers in the field. Again, I did it and I was quite surprised that people don't see and then don't share my vision of the agent, and then it's quite strange for me. I don't understand the logic what people present. Okay, so I view the body as a complex colony of cells supported and structured by internal framework consisting of bones and cartilage, along with network of collagen and elastin fibers. These frameworks allows immune cells and stem cells to migrate within the body to manage the colony needs. I mean, to get maintenance of these cells. And actually, it is quite logical to see that this colony can exist forever. In principle, okay, there is no limit, but why we're aging? Okay, that's problem. Let's go to aging. However, as we age, the elastin fibers that are produced during childhood are gradually replaced by collagen fibers, which are 1,000 times stiffer. Additionally, these collagen fibers become cross-linked by sugar molecules, further increasing the stiffness of the framework. As a result, the migration of immune stem cells becomes compromised, impacting the functioning of all organs. Again, the biggest mystery in all this model and all this my understanding of the agents, that why we cannot produce any longer elastin fibers. We produce elastin fibers in childhood, but then we suddenly don't produce them any longer. I have some ideas, and about this I was talking about this in my videos. So again, if I think if we will start to produce elastin fibers to replace some broken, then we can live forever. And some animals like pardon, like naked mole rats can do it. Okay, we just have to understand why it is so for them. They are not aging. So here it is some view of elastin, of extracellular matrix. It consists of some layers. In some areas, like here, epithelium layer, and the cells are closely connected to each other, and they link to each other. But normally, it is a frame of fibers, and then immune cells can migrate inside, stem cells can migrate inside to do some repairs, to make maintenance. So the stiffening of tissues, and especially blood vessels, that have several significant consequences. Firstly, it reduces blood flow, leading to chronic hypoxia, so low oxygen levels in tissues. This hypoxia triggers the overproduction of lactate, which contributes to a cascade of degenerative process. So lactate can be viewed as a bad substance, but okay, it is not so. We will go and we will see it. These processes include oxidative stress, accumulation of senescent cells that produce pro-inflammatory signal molecules, chronic tissue inflammation, activation of fibroblasts which react to these signal molecules, and excessive collagen production by fibroblasts. So it is all leading to tissue fibrosis. The increased tissue stiffness affects, first of all, blood vessels, and further reducing blood flow, increasing hypoxia further, and what is happening, acidosis in tissues, high acidity in tissues. This creates a vicious cycle where chronic hypoxia levels in tissue continue to rise over time, eventually leading to self-intoxication and death of the body. So you see, this is a result in all the people, that a result of the chronic hypoxia, that just some, especially in diabetics, it is quite normal. It is some tissues are just die out. There is no oxygen, there is no nutrient supply. Why? Because stiffening of the blood vessels. So eventually they have to cut the hands or legs. And again, why it is why it is stiffening in particular, not only replacement of elastin fibers by collagen fibers, but also cross-linking with sugar molecules, the collagen fibers. Pardon. And then again, if high level of glucose in blood leads to cross-linking, leads to accelerated aging. Okay, however, this my simple model of aging overlooks some important aspects, particularly the role of degenerative process in the digestive tract. Okay, I mean, the model should be more complicated, more developed. This first, it is like main view, but now we are going to details. So more than 80% of our immune cells are located around the digestive tract, highlighting its crucial role in protecting the body from pathogens, foreign proteins, and toxins. Okay, so it is really the purpose that our immune system tries to keep us alive, tries to keep us healthy, and 80% of all this power is located in around the digestive tract. So it is for good reason. Okay. So aging typically results in a decrease in the production of digestive enzymes and by pancreas, which are these enzymes are essential for breaking down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, mostly proteins, proteases, in the digestive system. Additionally, the production of stomach acid may decrease with age, affecting protection against pathogenic bacteria and the breakdown of proteins into amino acids. Again, we need very high acidity in the stomach. In young age, we have indeed high acidity, but as people are aging, not enough of this hydrochloric acid is produced in the stomach, and acidity drops. As a result, more this pathogenic bacteria go to the inside the guts, and also proteins are not broken into amino acids. So inadequate protein digestion can initiate a harmful cycle with negative consequences for human health. This is maybe a core of all problems. This is why immune cells are located in near the digestive tract. So here it is schematically presented that in young age it is all okay, proteins are broken to amino acids, they go to the blood system, everything fine, but with age, what is happening, proteins are not digested, they are used as food by pathogenic bacteria. These bacteria produce toxins like trimethylamine and ammonia, and then all this ammonia are very toxic, they go to blood, and then especially brain is suffering, but all the tissues also. So amino acids are crucial for producing antibodies and immune cells, and lack of protein in the diet or compromised protein digestion can weaken the immune system. Again, immune system, if it is weakened or if it is overloaded with this invaders, then it cannot function properly. It cannot contain this maintenance process. Okay, so our colony is losing this ability to maintain itself. So compromised protein digestion can result in the decreased muscle mass, strength and function, or physical function, as well as bone strength, because bones are also have a lot of collagen inside. So it is all contributing to sarcopenia in the elderly. Essential amino acids are particularly important as their shortage can make the body more susceptible to infections and illnesses, because again our immune system needs these essential amino acids. The pancreas needs essential amino acids to produce enzymes. So these essential amino acids also play a role in hormone production and regulation, so deficiency can disrupt hormonal balance, potentially leading to various health issues. Essential amino acids are also involved in energy production and maintaining muscle function, so the shortage of these amino acids can lead to fatigue, weakness, and decreased physical performance. This is what happens. So if we cannot digest proteins, especially essential amino acids, we are suffering eventually, we are aging, our body is aging. Plant proteins are generally more challenging to digest than animal proteins, meaning they are harder to break down into amino acids. Undigested plant proteins may ignite inflammation in the gut with direct consequences. For example, gluten found in wheat, barley, and rye can trigger increased intestinal permeability. Lectins in legumes, grains, and nightshade vegetables can bind to the gut lining, contributing to gut inflammation and increased permeability, especially in older individuals. Again, if you are vegetarian and if you count to get proteins from vegetables, it will be disaster. Okay, again, so it's again you have to adjust your diet to use more easily digesting proteins. Okay, let's go. Saponins in beans and legumes can disrupt the gut barrier and increase permeability, and particularly if consumed in large amounts. Again, stop. If you on old age, forget about plants. Protease inhibitors in soybeans and other legumes can interfere with protein digestion and contribute to gut irritation and increased permeability, that is leaky gut syndrome. Okay, you understand? No plants, okay, no plants, no rice, no barley, no wheat, no bread. Okay, so what is again? If you compare animal protein with vegetable protein, animal protein more easily digested. It almost all can be digested, almost all, not always, but again, in older people it is problem. And it has a lot of these essential amino acids. These vegetable proteins are junk. They are not digestible. They are not very easy absorbed in guts, and we don't have enough of these essential amino acids in plant proteins. So leaky gut syndrome or increased intestinal permeability occurs when the lining of the intestines becomes more porous, allowing substances like bacteria, toxins, and undigested proteins to pass into the bloodstream. This can trigger an immune response, with antibodies mistakenly targeting healthy tissues and organs, leading to autoimmune reactions. The presence of foreign substances in the bloodstream can also promote chronic inflammation, that is a hallmark of many autoimmune diseases, contributing to the tissue damage and disease development. There are over 100 autoimmune conditions. Some examples of autoimmune diseases are following: psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, multiple sclerosis, lupus, inflammatory bowel disease, and celiac. Pardon me if I pronounce not correct. Celiac disease, but you understand this. Okay, you can read at least with me. Okay, so what is happening? If you're healthy, everything is good. Everything is good. You are protected with this mucus, and then this pathogenic molecules are not destroying your epithelium layer. But as we have dysbiosis, it's like this. You have bacteria which change the environment inside from acidic, slightly acidic to alkaline, and then some cells are destroyed. Mucus is destroyed because it is consumed by bacteria also, and then the bacteria can get into bloodstream. So our immune system tries to protect us, okay? But if it is already too much, then you have autoimmune diseases. Compromised digestion of proteins and leaky gut syndrome can disrupt the balance of gut bacteria, leading to dysbiosis, which has been linked to autoimmune diseases. Okay, even if you have leaky gut syndrome, even it itself changes the microbiota. So this protection have to stay intact. You have to take care as much as you can about health of your guts. And the gut microbiota plays a crucial role in regulating the immune system and maintaining gut barrier function. And you need this protection not to overload your immune system. That our immune system will make this maintenance, and you will live actually unlimited as long as you can. So, but of course, I assume that you will find a way to produce elastin fibers. Additionally, a leaky gut can impair nutrient absorption, weaken the immune system, and contribute to the development of autoimmune disease. Okay, I repeat it, but again, it is so important to understand that how aging is develops. The root cause is the stiffening of the extracellular matrix, but then next step in importance, it is protection. It is your guts. It is if it is epithelium layer is not protected, if it is leaking, then it is aging go very quick. Overall, leaky gut syndrome can contribute to the development and progression of autoimmune diseases by triggering immune responses and promoting chronic inflammation of all tissues, disrupting the gut microbiota, and impairing nutrient absorption. And imbalance of gut bacteria, leaky gut syndrome, and autoimmune diseases contribute to aging of human body. I repeat it a little bit because again, this is again to put to show that how important it is. Okay, if you want to live forever, or maybe more than a few hundred years, longer than a few hundred years, your guts have to be of priority, of highest importance. Okay, what is happening with people, with all the people? You see all this development of this. It is autoimmune reactions, actually, autoimmune reactions. Okay, and also stiffening of the skin. So this is how it works. But is there a solution? Yes, there is a solution to this. As it follows from above, the root cause of aging is the development of chronic hypoxia in tissues due to compromised supply of oxygen by the blood flow. Again, it develops because stiffening of blood vessels, stiffening of extracellular matrix. This is the root cause. But yet, again, in conditions of hypoxia, cells shift from the production of energy molecules ATP in mitochondria to glycolysis. Lactate, which is anion on lactic acid, is produced during the glycolysis of glucose molecules in the cell cytoplasm of human bodies, and particularly in situations where oxygen is scarce, shortage of oxygen. Unlike oxidative phosphorylation in the mitochondrial electron transport chain, which yields 36 ATP molecules per one glucose molecule, glycolysis generates only 2 ATP molecules per glucose molecule, making it less efficient, but it works very quick. So red blood cells, they have no mitochondria, and they rely entirely on glucose and lactate for energy. So they can use lactate, this anion, as a source of energy, and they can also use glucose. Sometimes level of lactate in your blood few times higher than level of glucose, and it is okay. It is again, lactate can be used as source of energy. In contrast, neutrons in our brains can produce energy only in their mitochondria under aerobic conditions. Again, neutrons, if you have compromised blood flow to your brain, then neutrons cannot produce energy, they just die out. Okay, this is why they out. Even if you have glucose or lactose, it is no help. So Warburg effect, first described by Otto Warburg and Seigo Mainami in 1923, highlights how hyperactive cells like cancer cells, senescent cells, and virus-infected cells preferentially use glycolysis even in the presence of oxygen. Again, you see that all the senescent cells, they can produce energy very quick, and they prefer to use this glycolysis. Why? Because they are hyperactive. Cancer cells, for instance, derive approximately 60% of their required energy from aerobic glycolysis, producing lactate. This phenomenon offers advantages such as faster energy production and accelerated protein and lipid synthesis. Okay, you produce lactate, but you have more carbon atoms to produce fat, to produce protein, so that it is necessary for cancer cells to procreate, and then this is how it works. But senescent cells need they produce proteins. These proteins are signal molecules, so they're also hyperactive. In virus-infected cells, they produce viruses. They also produce proteins, so they need they need to shift to the glycolysis. Lactate plays a crucial role in protecting cancer cells from immune system by contributing to the acidity of the tumor microenvironment. This acidity impairs the function of immune cells such as T cells and natural killer cells, making them less effective in recognizing and attacking cancer cells. Imagine what is happening when acidosis, the acidic environment in all your bodies, and then your immune cells cannot work. So all the maintenance cannot be provided, so you just die out. So cells die out. Okay, so you see this picture of the Warburg effect. So mostly in healthy cells, they don't need much energy. They produce mostly in oxidative phosphorylation inside the mitochondria with presence of oxygen, and but they can produce in anaerobic conditions without oxygen. They can produce lactate. So it goes glucose. Splits to two molecules of pyruvate, and then pyruvate goes, every molecule of pyruvate gets to lactic acid or lactate. Actually, okay, then in tumor, in cancer cells, it is different. So mostly it is go to lactate. 85% of glucose go to lactate, only 5% to mitochondria, but mitochondria produce 18 times more ATP molecules, so it is again 5% gets like 40% of all energy which cancer cells produce. Additionally, lactate can activate fibroblasts and collagen deposition around the tumor, promoting cancer cell survival and inhibiting normal cell function. I mean, if there are some normal cells around, including immune cells, they again make some protection. So fibrosis develops around the cancer cell, around the tumor, and then the cancer cells, they protect themselves. Oh, it is automatically because lactate is igniting production of the collagen. So peripheral cancer cells can utilize lactate as energy source, aiding the tumor in tumor spread as metastasis. Okay. If inside the tumor cells there is a shortage of oxygen, but peripheral cancer cells, they have enough oxygen, they can use lactate as energy source, but eventually it goes as metastasis. They can go and go to lymphatic vessels and can produce metastasis. Similarly, lactate produced in glycolysis can protect hyperactive senescent cells and virus-infected cells. You see that again, if you have lactate, this shortage of oxygen, and it is again because of the stiffening of blood vessels and because of this high concentration of these senescent cells, then okay, then you will get problems that your immune cells cannot kill the senescent cells and virus-infected cells. Lactate can easily migrate outside of cells and can be transferred through the bloodstream to other tissues. In aerobic conditions, many cells can use lactate as energy source instead of glucose. For example, lungs and heart and brain can utilize lactate to produce energy in the mitochondria, while the liver can convert lactate back into glucose through the gluconeogenesis. Again, lactate is used as energy quite often. If you go to resistance training, you produce a lot of lactate, then brain, heart, and lungs can use this lactate as source of energy. Lactate produced by astrocytes in the brain serves as fuel for neurons, contributing to long-term memory. But again, it is not only by astrocytes, lactate produced in your muscles also contribute to development of long-term memory. This was shown that if you do regular exercises and to the level of lactate production, then you improve your long-term memory. Okay, this is also important. So also long misunderstood as waste product of anaerobic glycolysis, lactate is now recognized as multifunctional signal molecules. Okay, it is like, previously it was thinking like, okay, it is simple, lactate is produced in anaerobic conditions. No, but now it is again, it is understood that it controls various processes such as lipolysis, wound healing, improved exercise performance because the muscles grow, and anti-inflammatory activity. Again, interesting enough that lactate can suppress anti-inflammatory activity. Lactate also plays a role in epigenetic gene regulations, highlighting the importance of immune modulation and homeostasis. If immune system reacts to lactate, so lactate is a signal for them that to activate the immune cells, but also if it is too much lactate, then it is suppressed. So this diverse range of functions make lactate a molecule of significant interest beyond a traditional association with exercise. Lactate actively participate in angiogenesis, which is very important for muscle growth, but it is important also for your body. But again, if you ignite this short-term acute hypoxia, it is healthy. But long chronic hypoxia is deadly. It is destroys your body. Okay, so but this why we need exercises? Why we need this high interval and high intensity interval training and sport interval training? Then it is because we have to get to the level of generating of this lactate. And then lactate stimulates growth of muscles, stimulate better memory functioning, and it also stimulates your health improvement. Okay, so but again, not chronic hypoxia, short-term acute hypoxia. During exercise, again, that lactate plays a crucial role as key regulator in angiogenesis within the brain. It is again, your brain need oxygen, need blood supply, and regular exercises play crucial role. This is, yeah, you have to, if you want to live long, you have to do regular exercises and not just walking, but you have to get to the level of anabolic conditions that not enough oxygen you get in blood. So it is short, it had to be short, but yet again, every day, maybe every next day. Okay, so again, it is very important for brain health. So if you make exercises, it helps. It helps to in many areas. So you have to you have to respect lactate, and you have to understand lactate can bad sign if it is chronic hypoxia, or it is if it is acute hypoxia. It is good. It is good. It can help. So an oral, but again, what is also interesting, an oral intake of lactate can serve as a substrate for beneficial bacteria in the gut, such as lactobacilli and bifidobacteria. Okay, so even if you drink some fermented milk, for example, yeah, it works, it helps. Even with the high oral intake, lactate does not accumulate in the adult human colon under normal health conditions due to the presence of this bacteria which use lactate as food. And these bacteria convert lactate into beneficial short-chain fatty acids. You see why it is important. So why you need even I was talking about lactose. That lactose is good to produce short-chain fatty acids. Lactulose even may be better, but again it needs some research. But even if you use lactic acid, if it is fermented milk, no bad. Or you can buy lactic acid as chemical and maybe make drinks with lactate. Again, why not? Why not? It is so cheap, so easy, and so good for health. Short-chain fatty acids serve as energy source for epithelium cells lining the colon, such as colonocytes and goblet cells. Again, goblet cells produce this mucus. Again, I was talking in previous presentation that it is absolutely important to have thick layer of mucus to protect your very gentle, very easy, these epithelium cells are they need protection. So you have to take care of them a lot, okay? And how to take care? Okay, you have to look how nature handles this, and you see that long-living animals, they actually don't consume fibers. So all medical professionals will tell you, oh yeah, you use fibers. Your fibers are good for you. No, guys, no fibers. Okay, but lactate, lactose, and maybe other prebiotics, but which are not damaging or your epithelial layer, not damaging your mucus. So by efficiently using lactate to produce short-chain fatty acids, the microbiome supports its growth and activity, contributing to healthy gut environment and stability of the intestinal epithelium layer. Absolutely important for longevity, absolutely important. So you see this schematically presented that you have goblet cells produce mucus, you have lactic acid bacteria, they consume lactose, or they can consume lactulose, or they can use lactic acid. No, lactic acid goes not to lactic acid bacteria, but other bacteria use lactic acid and lactate to produce beneficial short-chain fatty acids. Short-chain fatty acids promote the production of mucin in the mucus. Mucin, it is proteins, and mucus is a protective layer that lines the gut and helps prevent the entry of harmful substances into the bloodstream. Short-chain fatty acids have anti-inflammatory properties and can help reduce inflammation in the gut for conditions like inflammatory bowel disease. And short-chain fatty acids produced from lactate fermentation can also help regulate immune function in the gut. Okay, sure, if you can reduce stress on immune cells if epithelium layer is intact, if it is epithelium layer healthy, and if you have thick layer of mucus, yeah, so this is what you have to do. No fibers. You have to use prebiotics which are not fibers. So in particular, lactate can promote the development of regulatory T cells, which help prevent inappropriate immune responses and reduce the risk of autoimmune reactions. Also, short-chain fatty acids can enhance nutrient absorption in the gut, ensuring that essential nutrients are effectively absorbed in the body. There are a lot of publications on this, but again, you have to understand the principle, okay, especially in the colon. In the colon, mucus has two layers. There is outer layer, which is full of some bacteria, and inner layer is protecting. It has no bacteria inside, even no lactic bacteria, no beneficial bacteria, nothing. But it is pushing all bacteria and toxins and proteins out. So it protects the epithelium layer. This is absolutely important for your health. Beneficial probiotics, including lactic acid bacteria, bifidobacteria, and some yeasts, play a crucial role in maintaining gut health. Okay, you can read in a lot of publication on it, but sometimes recommendations are broad. Yeah, you have to understand again. It's prebiotics are okay. Prebiotics, if it is not fiber, it is okay in my opinion. But mostly people recommend to use dietary fiber. No. In my opinion, no. Prebiotics such as lactulose, oligosaccharides, and dietary fibers. Again, dietary fibers are recommended. It is like in this article, they say, okay, you need dietary fibers. I say no, you don't need. You need lactose, and you need oligosaccharides, and but no dietary fibers. Even if I use some cacao powder, and it can be considered as dietary fiber, yeah, maybe I should stop it. I mean, I use it not much, and this powder is so gentle. I mean, it is probably not so dangerous. But fiber from fruits and vegetables, deadly. I tell you, it is deadly. Okay, lactate can be considered as prebiotic because, again, bacteria use this lactate, lactic acid and lactate, as food to produce short-chain fatty acids. So combining oral lactate intake with other prebiotics and probiotics can enhance the production of short-chain fatty acids, vitamins, and other beneficial byproducts by the gut microbiome. Okay, you can read. So you see that how it develops, little bit more complicated. You can combine prebiotics with probiotics. You can combine this lactate with bacteria, with helpful bacteria all together, like fermented milk have both. And so you can use it fermented milk. Symbiotics, which are a combination of probiotics and prebiotics. Okay, this is fermented milk can be considered a symbiotic, so they work together and the effect is higher than if you provide only one probiotics or prebiotics, but together it works better. In general, they are working synergistically, so they improving the absorption of minerals, enhancing gut health, and stabilizing intestinal flora, intestinal mucus. Absolutely important. You have to pay attention to this. During high-intensity exercise, muscles shift to glycolysis, burning stored glycogen and producing lactate as a byproduct. Notably, high level of lactate can be linked to mitochondrial biogenesis in response to this exercise. So, if your muscles produce lactate or lactic acid and lactate, your muscles get stimulated to grow. Okay, you have not only muscles but also a number of mitochondria in the muscle cells is increasing, so it's altogether better. Lactate accumulation is associated with muscle hypertrophy and, as I said, and regeneration of injured skeletal muscles by activating muscle satellite cells. This is the mechanism of how the muscle grows. They are first damaged, the injured, and then muscle satellite cells activated and they grow new muscle fiber. It is interesting that a single injections of exogenous or lactate, so you can make injections to your muscles in principle. It is in part at least mimics the effects of a single this bout of high intensity exercise. So it is okay. It is not for you. It is for mice, but it is again. It shows that lactate rules the mechanism of muscle hypertrophy. Oral lactate administration also interesting. So no need to inject. Oral lactate administration, which is like you take sodium lactate. Which is you can produce it. You can take sodium hydroxide mixed with lactic acid, and you can do. And it is, but okay, it is huge amount. For mice, it is huge. 1 gram per kilo body weight. It is huge. Okay, but again, it was done with mice. So how it works for humans? Maybe not so high amounts, but it works. It works. Considering the apparent positive effect of lactate in the body, it could be considered as sport supplement, but more research is necessary. But mind that again, maybe it is good idea to combine lactate, lactic acid with some salts, with some like sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide or magnesium carbonate or something. That I try this actually. I try. So what is happening? Muscles produce lactate, lactate go to liver produce glucose, and then glucose is used as food in blood for blood vessels and for red blood cells. So it is like, and also glycogen is recovered in your muscles. But as the previous videos, I explained that lactose make things better, because lactose, when it is digested and broken to galactose and glucose, glucose is producing glycogen in muscles, and galactose is producing is digested or converted to glycogen in liver. So it is both are used, and this is why a level of glucose in blood is not rising if you consume lactose in milk or something. It is okay. I mean, it is quite quickly gets stored as glycogen. Combining lactate intake with whey proteins and lactic bacteria may further enhance its impact on muscle hypertrophy. Okay, this is what I say. You take whey proteins, mix it with, fermented milk maybe, and to get this lactic bacteria, and then fermented milk have lactate and lactic acid, so it's all together. So combining whey protein itself generate this has impact on muscle hypertrophy, and you can combine it. Drinking fermented milk after exercise alleviates the effects of muscle soreness after high intensity exercise, and studies have shown that consuming kefir, even in very small doses like 20 grams per day for 1 month, can improve exercise performance, but it is okay. It is not for athletes. Athletes need more than just 20 grams of kefir a day, But it is reducing lactate acid production in muscles after exercise and accelerate recovery without adverse effects. Okay, mechanism is not quite clear, but for sure you use this combination of prebiotics and probiotics, bacteria together with lactate. It works, it helps. Similar, Greek yogurt consumption, which is already in 20 grams of milk protein per dose. So it is maybe not one dose, but yeah, again, Greek yogurt, all fermented dairy product, good. It is a source of lactates and beneficial bacteria, and then after 3 months this consuming, it has been linked to improve strength, muscle thickness, and body composition in young untrained males. I believe that it works for the elderly too. So you see how the lactate works. Oral lactate works for mice, but again, so you see that it is improved. Lactate gives more volume, length, increase in length and volume of the muscle fibers, so it is altogether good. A combination of lactate and caffeine has been found to stimulate proliferation and differentiation of satellite cells in skeletal muscles, and in animal study administering the sodium lactate 1 gram per kilo, it's quite a lot, and caffeine 36 milligram per kilo of body weight. So it was supplied in drinking water for mice on treadmill, and it resulted in significant increase in muscle mass compared to the non-treated exercising mass and not exercising mice. Okay, so you see that again, if you consume this lactate and caffeine, lactate not fermented milk, but lactate like salt of lactic acid, it already works. So lactic acid and lactates are very good for health. It is stimulating muscle growth. It is stimulating growth of new blood vessels in everybody, in all your body, and including brain, which is very good for health. So I highly recommend to use it, and I try on my body to do it. It is interesting. So okay, I cannot say that it is not a miracle, but I think a good idea to use it, especially fermented milk. So this suggests that this combination can enhance muscle mass and number of nucleus in muscle fibers, even with low intensity exercise training, through the activation of satellite cells and anabolic signals. Okay, it is for elderly, but it is, again, even for elderly it works. Combining lactate with betaine also has some synergistic effects on muscle growth and recovery due to betaine-mediated insulin-like growth factor 1. Okay, you need betaine because it has some epigenetic impact. So betaine used as a source of methyl groups, and so you can combine, and it is always recommended to consume betaine when you go to exercises, and improves your energy production. But okay, you can combine lactate with betaine also. In wound healing, cell activate glycolysis to divide rapidly, leading to lactate accumulation. Okay, so again, if you have cut on your skin or something, or inside some organs had damage, they develop this glycolysis. So they try, it is not because of compromised blood flow, but also the inflammatory signal activate glycolysis, and they produce lactate. And what is happening, lactate induces the release of growth factors, and also this VEGF, which is promote angiogenesis. It is again new blood vessels are growing and from pre-existing vessels, which is crucial for wound healing and tissue regeneration. But also, if you do exercises, also you see lactate is including lactate in your diet when you exercises, after exercises or during the day. Good, because your this circulating system is keeping healthy. Okay, exogenous lactate delivery is considered beneficial for managing non-healing wounds. Okay, it is for diabetes mostly. And lactate promotes collagen synthesis in endothelium cells and fibroblasts. So it is quite well known. It is interesting that lactic acid in concentration from 10 to 30% became a popular single agent for effective skin peeling. Okay, 30% may be too much, and you need this neutralization after such treatment, but 10%, even no need for neutralization, it just disappear. Okay, so okay. And complete re-epithelialization occurs in 7-10 days. So lactic acid does not penetrate too deep. Your skin will not get red. It will be not really damaged, but it helps. It helps to kill bacteria. It helps to rejuvenate your skin, make it's more puffy, more elastic. It's very good. So what these people are doing, they produce this polylactic acid polymer, and then it is like used to quickly to improve wound healing. And again, this is already, you can buy it, but just mind that it is just lactic acid. Okay, if you apply lactic acid, it burns to the wound, but okay, but mind that at least lactic acid is really signal molecule which results in quick healing of wounds and improves growth of new blood vessels. The Egyptians, and in particular Queen Cleopatra, were famously known to bathe in sour goat milk to improve the look and texture of the skin, quite well known. Today we know that sour goat milk is rich in middle chain fatty acids, or middle chain, other name middle chain triglycerides, so-called MCT oil, and it contains lactic acid. Okay, these middle chain fatty acids are absorbed into skin fast. Okay, so you can use coconut oil, for example, instead of goat milk, but yet again, goat milk quite expensive, but okay, if you can afford it, why not? And lactate. So that lactic acid in sour milk is known to exfoliate and rejuvenate the skin, but again, question of concentration. If it is 10%, then it is, well, it is not. It is rejuvenating skin, but it is not damaging skin. So when lactic acid is used in 10 or 12% concentration, the skin gets firmer and thicker. But you have to use it, almost every day or whatever. I don't know. It is not damaging your skin. I try it. I do it. And lactic acid speeds the cell turnover, leading to brighter skin complexion and reduced dryness. And it also stimulates collagen and elastin production, promoting skin firmness. Lactic acid in concentration like 5 to 10% can be applied to your hair and scalp and to improve scalp length. It has many benefits. It kills bacteria. It is leading to new blood cells are growing. Your scalp skin gets thicker, so it is helpful. It is very cheap. So it is removing pigment spots from the skin. So it's also good. You see. It is important to note that many medical professionals believe that consuming milk may lead to shorter lives and increase the risk of mortality. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, okay, whatever. They suggest replacing dairy products with plant-based protein sources like tofu and some beans and lactose. Yeah, I would never do it. Advocates of a vegetarian diet often cite publication in peer-reviewed journals to support these claims. Again, I tell you what, if you go to the site with these scientific publications like ResearchGate or Academia, you get hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of publications which sometimes give opposite, quite opposite conclusions. Some claim this has to be done, some claim other something done quite opposite. Again, I'm a professional scientist. All my life I work in science, and I know how to read these publications, how to separate what truth from lies. And again, I do. You see, I use quite many publications, the source of information is this, but again, I'm not always agree with the conclusions in the article, but I use the information as I just rethink it. I sometimes think, okay, this is observation, but the conclusions should be different. So they argue that switching from plant-based diet to consuming unprocessed meat, eggs, raw milk, poultry, dairy, and fish significantly increases mortality compared to following a vegetarian or balanced diet. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. Okay, but whatever. Again, you can follow me, you can follow this vegetarian people. Okay, no problem. They attribute the most of the negative effects for lactose, because lactose is disaccharide of glucose and galactose, and I was already doing a video and presentation that indeed galactose injections, if you use galactose itself and inject to mice, it causes inflammation, accelerate aging in mice. But if you consume lactose, it is different. It is so much different. So it is very healthy to use lactose. It is almost works the same as resistant starch. So it is digested slowly, and glucose goes to your muscles to recover the deposits of glycogen in muscles, and galactose go to your liver, and the liver convert it in steps to glucose, or it is used for production of this so it is all balanced. Okay, if you drink a bottle of milk, and if you can check your blood concentration of glucose, you will see that milk is not increasing concentration of glucose in blood. No, so you can drink as much as you want. It doesn't change your glucose level. It is somehow, despite it is, oh yeah, it is sugar, you have to stay out sugar. And even proponents of this of your ketogenic diet and carnivore diet, they say, oh, you have to stay out, you have to avoid the raw milk, you have to avoid drinking or consuming dairy product with high concentration of lactose. Nonsense. Okay, I tell you, nonsense. Okay, this is my opinion. Okay, you can follow my opinion or can do your own research, decide for yourself. But my opinion, it is nonsense. It is not increasing concentration of glucose inside, even at high doses. I already make in previous my videos this research that no problem with lactose. Lactose, we need it. If you think nature is stupid and make such mistakes that producing lactose in the breast milk. Breast milk is so healthy for babies. Why we have so high concentration, 7% of lactose in breast milk, higher than any other animal. The highest concentration of lactose. Why? Because lactose is good for your brain. Lactose is good for your muscles. Lactose is good to grow muscles and to stay healthy. Lactose is good for your guts. Okay, nature is not stupid. Some people are stupid. Some people who say stay away from drinking milk. Okay, you are not supposed to live too long, I believe. Yeah, if you follow this diet, vegetarian diet, if you avoid drinking raw milk, or if you take this lactose-free milk, which is not very good. Okay, lactose is good. Okay, because it is splitting, it is digested slowly in your guts. But if you take lactose-free milk, it is just has this enzyme which is splitting lactose to glucose and galactose, and then it is go to blood quick. It is so stay away from this modified milk. But raw milk, absolutely perfect. Raw milk, and if you buy some whey protein with some lactose inside, perfect for your health. Okay, this guy is proponent, and they tell, oh, milk drinkers, they live so short life. Look at him. Do you want to be like him? He is 51 years old. I'm 67. I would be so much ashamed if I will have such body composition, and then he lost hair. I have some problem with hair, but not to such extent. Okay, and again, he looks so much unhealthy. So much unhealthy. You want to be like him? Okay, do it. Okay, no problem. We don't know much about him. Already this picture of his appearance is telling a lot, more than anything. And why people follow him, again, they cannot see this man. They cannot see this man. What makes this vegetarian diet with his health? I don't think he will live much longer than 60 years. In my age, he will be dead already, I believe. Okay, claims that drinking milk increases the risk of bone fractures are unfounded. It's groundless, absolutely groundless. But yeah, again, but if it is published, you have to think why it is happening, because this is so-called evidence-based medicine. I do not deny facts. Okay, if they say, okay, we see low bone density, why? You have to understand why. So increased bone porosity may result from accumulation of calcium oxalate crystals in bones of the body, which can be caused by high calcium content in milk. Yes, so you consume calcium. It is, again, you drinking milk. And then, but you have magnesium deficiency, so this calcium has to go somewhere. And what is happening, you eat excessive amount of green vegetables, which are rich in oxalate. What is happening, you have accumulation of calcium oxalate crystals in your body, in your bones in particular, and this is awful consequences, awful, okay? Stay away from plants. Stay away from vegetables, but drinking milk is okay, and high content of calcium is okay if you consume magnesium, because what is magnesium doing? Magnesium regulates content of calcium. If you consume more magnesium, it will balance calcium content, and the calcium will be expelled from your body. It is also, magnesium is very important to remove this oxalate, calcium oxalate crystals from your body, which are nanocrystals. You don't see it, but they are in all your bone joints, in your bones, in all your tissues, and they make you sick, okay? Oxalates make you sick. You have to remove them. And how to remove them? Magnesium supplements together with lactate and together with milk. Milk gives you lactose. Lactose will be converted, at least in part, will be converted to lactic acid, and lactic acid and lactates will help to remove these oxalates. Official recommendations to avoid dairy product may be based again on evidence-based medicine. I do not deny experiments. If experiments show it is so, okay, I do not deny. But conclusions, you have to. Conclusions can be tricky. So, but again, this experiment, they often overlook the nuances of individual diet and lifestyle. As a professional scientist, I prioritize scientific evidence and view medical care as part of business that may benefit from having more customers. Okay, this is okay. Little other story, but again, if you don't see that if you have too much calcium in your body, and magnesium deficiency is quite normal in people, it's very common, and you have a lot of vegetables as it is recommended by all these professional medical officials, okay, then you have problem. Then you have bone density dropping, and you have accumulation of oxalates. You have so many problems. So think again, you have to understand what is what. And my vision is, again, I'm a professional scientist. I can see the why it is happening, okay? But I don't deny the experiment. It is true. It is evidence-based medicine, but conclusions are wrong. So again, I personally don't consider myself a potential customer for this business because I never sick. Last 25 years, I never was sick even with the flu. I never take any job, any medicine. I never was used mask. Well, I don't need it. My immune system works perfect. Okay, and why? Because I do it right. So my research aims not only improve health, but also achieve radical life extension. So my recommendations can be different, and they are different from what you find in the internet. Why? Because I don't want to just improve my health and live 100 years. No, I want to live 500, 600, maybe up to 1,000 years. And I think how I can do it. And I look how nature manage with this. Nature is telling you, okay, you have to adjust your diet as close as possible to what you was consuming as a baby, newborn baby. Newborn baby use breast milk as food. So your diet has to be as close as possible to breast milk. Okay, it is a little bit tricky, but possible. Why not? You can. Everything is available. Lactate, lactose, amino acids, dry proteins, no problem. You can adjust your diet, and it is not very cheap, but it is affordable. So, okay, as again, proponents of the carnivore diet, they propose that they say fatty beef is excellent source of protein and fat. For young people, I would say yes. Yes, it is so. For young people, I am 67, for me it doesn't work. I was eating 1 kilo of meat with eggs, more than 1 kilo of meat, and we're going to fitness regular. What I got? Wrong. I was doing resistance training, was pushing some weights. What was the result? Stiffening of my blood vessels, increase of my blood pressure. This is why bodybuilders don't live too long, okay? You have to understand what to do. And when I got this problem, I started to think, what is happening? What is wrong with me? And okay, now you see from my previous videos, I got a solution. Now it is so much better. Okay, now it is so much better. But it took me efforts. It is risky always. If I don't think, or if I make mistake, but if I have mistake, I see consequences. I think I try to find the solution. Okay. So what is wrong? For all the people, the ability to produce gastric juice with high acidity and digestive enzymes like proteases decreases. It is a fact, okay? It is a fact. You have to increase it, and with some supplements and lifestyle, you have to do it. You can do it. So, but if it is already decreased, then it leads to difficulties in breaking down proteins into amino acids, resulting in undigested meat being used by pathogens in the colon, to produce harmful substances like ammonia. I was talking about this. This again, you have to avoid it. You have to adjust it so your diet so that this fatty beef cannot be used as source of energy, as source of proteins in older age. Sorry guys, sorry. I love carnivore diet. I was following the carnivore diet. It is what I'm doing. It is some kind of subdivision, some adjustment of the carnivore diet with inclusions of a lot of dairy products, a lot of lactate, a lot of lactose, a lot of lactose. Again, why we should stay away of sugar? Not all sugar are good, bad. Okay, glucose bad, fructose very bad, saccharose is very bad. Okay, but this lactose is good because babies consume a lot of glucose, lactose. You think nature is stupid, huh? Okay, I don't think so. Nature is good, nature is smart, nature is powerful. Follow nature always. I always follow nature, or try to follow nature. So again, this leads to development of some pathogens in colon and producing ammonia, 3-methylamine, and then chronic inflammation, leaky gut syndrome, and blah blah blah, aging, accelerated aging. Okay, you have to think for yourself. Increased consumption of dairy product could be a solution. Yes. Okay, guys, you see, we are coming to dairy products. Dairy products. Milk proteins, especially whey proteins, they are more easily to digest. You can buy whey proteins. It is affordable. Okay, guys, you can buy a powder of whey proteins with lactose or without lactose. It is again different, but not with sugar is fructose. No. With whey proteins, you have to read the content of the powder. So medium chain fatty acids found in milk. Again, cow milk is different from breast milk. Breast milk has many more medium chain fatty acids. You can combine it with butter, your milk, or you can use maybe coconut oil, but mind that it is butter is better. So, and additionally, short-chain fatty acids produced by beneficial bacteria are essential for maintaining a healthy and impermeable epithelium layer, which is absolute priority, should be in your elderly, on your old age, and every time, from childhood to your adult age. And because it is preventing invasion of pathogens. Newborn babies, again, I repeat, they get up to 10 grams of lactose per kilogram of their body weight. So it is, again, lactose is important. It is not bad. Lactic acid, which is produced in guts of the newborn babies because they cannot digest with enzymes the lactose. Much lactose goes to the colon and produces short-chain fatty acids with lactic acid bacteria. Okay, but yet further research is needed to determine the optimal composition of food for the elderly. Again, so you have to do it if you want. You have to check, and again, very simple measure how to see improvement of your health. Don't rely on just your feelings, and you can measure it. Okay, how I measure it? I measure my blood pressure. In my previous videos, you can see that so-called pulse pressure, it is difference between systolic and diastolic blood pressure, has to be as small as possible. This is a measure of your biological age, and pulse and heartbeat rate also has to be as resting heartbeat rate has to be as low as possible. If it is below 60, it is good. If your this pulse pressure is below 40, it is good. Here you see this my measurements. It is 33, not bad at all. But again, I have to tell you a trick. If you do intense exercises, then you break your muscles and you have development of the inflammation in your muscles. Muscles are growing. It is natural. Without inflammation, they don't grow. But if you have inflammation, your heart beats harder, and your pulse is elevated little bit, not much, but little bit elevated. your blood pressure also elevated. So this what is presented is after 1 day of resting, so with no exercises. Then you see this pulse pressure is low, and heartbeat rate is 50, sometimes 48. Yeah, so not bad, but I want to have better. I want to have better. I want to have 30, below 30 maybe, this pulse pressure, and heartbeat rate, rested heartbeat rate maybe below 40, about 40, and I hope I will get it. Okay, so you can measure, you can decide is it working for you, good or not bad. So buy this monitor, use it, easy peasy. Okay, instead of paying pardon me, instead of paying thousands and thousands, dozen thousands of American dollars for one measurement of your biological age, which is fake, complete fake, with epigenetic clock, which is, again, I was explaining, it is complete fake, but people make millions on it. Okay, so you want to waste your money, go. This blood monitor is I got for $5 American. Yeah, $5 American, maybe cheap a little bit. And it was for years. I got it 3 years ago, I believe. Yeah, it works. You change batteries, it works. So, okay, so you see these references. You can go make your own research, which I recommend you, as always. So go think for yourself. I'm not supposed to give you medical advice. I tell you, I give you references, I give you sources of information, but do your research. If you want to support my research, what I can do, you can at least, minimum what I can do, you can press like and bell buttons, subscribe to my channel, share this video information. Again, I tell you, my opinion is so much different from other experts, so-called experts. Okay, why why it is different? I work for myself, I work for my own health. Okay, I don't want to be like this man. He is getting big money, he is writing books, he is very popular. He's very popular, millions and millions people follow him and do the same. Okay, Godspeed. If you're gullible sheeple, then you're not supposed to live long. I want to live forever young, okay, maybe a few 100 years. And I think on it, I see that nature give us the recipe. Nature teach us how to do it, and I follow nature. Nature is smart, okay? Some so-called experts can be not smart, but if sometimes I make mistake, yeah, but at least I try to think and make conclusion. Okay, that's all, and have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao.